Let's travel back in time, taking a stroll down memory lane by revisiting classic episodes of our favorite shows is the best route to relive the good old days. It's time to bring back that nostalgic feeling and remember how fun it was to watch these shows with family and friends. Today, let's go back to the A-Team, 1983. Watch this video until the end to see how the actors have changed in the last 39 years. George Peppard as John Hannibal Smith. John Hannibal Smith is the leader of the A-Team and is an excellent strategist, always making all the calculating moves. He knows Morse code and how to drive a motorcycle well. The character is played by George Peppard. Handsome and elegant George Peppard occasionally displayed considerable talent through his career, but was too often cast in undemanding action roles. George joined the Marines after graduating from high school and served until the end of his enlistment in January 1948. Following Broadway and television experience, he made a strong film debut in The Strange One in 1957. He started getting noticed when he played Robert Mitchum's illegitimate son in the popular melodrama Home from the Hill in 1960. He was 65 when he died of pneumonia in 1994. Robert Vaughn as General Hunt Stockwell. General Hunt Stockwell is accountable to the president himself and manages the A-Team. Outwardly, he always remains extremely calm, and it's extremely difficult to piss him off. He wears suits. The character was played by Robert Vaughn, a magnetic performer who was equally at home playing heroes or heels. Robert Vaughn was a leading man and character actor whose 5-decade career included such hit films as The Magnificent Seven in 1960, Bullet in 1968, and The Towering Inferno in 1974. Television remained his best showcase. He played the role of war veteran Chester A. Gwynn in The Young Philadelphians with Paul Newman, which earned him a 1959 Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Robert Vaughn died in 2016 from acute leukemia. He was 83. Carl Franklin as Captain Crane. Captain Crane serves in the U.S. Army and was paired with Colonel Decker, whom he helped in every possible way during the capture of the A-Team. Crane has a somewhat simple-minded personality and often underestimated the A-Team. The character was played by Carl Franklin. Those who watched far too much bad TV in the 1970s and 80s may remember Carl Franklin as a rugged African-American character player. Those who value thoughtful and solidly crafted genre films may give more weight to his second career as a filmmaker in the 1990s. Today, he is 73 years old. Markie Post as Leslie Bechtel. Leslie Bechtel was romantically involved with Peck, and she was very important to him. Due to an illness, she turned to religion and went to a monastery, where she took the name Sister Teresa. The character was played by Markie Post. She was known for her roles as bail bondswoman Terry Michaels in The Fall Guy on ABC from 1982 to 1985, as public defender Christine Sullivan on the NBC sitcom Night Court from 1985 to 1992, and as Barbara Bunny Fletcher, mother of Sophia Bush's character. Markie Post died of cancer on August 7, 2021, 3 months away from what would have been her 71st birthday on November 4. She was 70. Dwight Schultz as Howling Mad Murdock. Howling Mad Murdock is a member of the A-Team who can handle a variety of vehicles, especially airborne, though his piloting style can be a bit dangerous at times. He is quite intelligent, has an eidetic memory, and is a polyglot. The character was played by Dwight Schultz. A respected performer on Broadway, Dwight Schultz found everlasting fame by playing the certifiable Howling Mad Murdock on the A-Team. He also starred on television in series like Star Trek: The Next Generation from 1987 to 1994, and countless animated shows like Chowder of the Cartoon Network from 2007 to 2010. However, little boys of all ages remembered him best as Murdock, and we were pleased to see him make a guest appearance in the 2010 film version of the A-Team. Today, he is 75 years old. Dirk Benedict as Templeton Faceman Peck. Templeton Faceman Peck is under command of Smith on the A-Team. He has a rather good-natured, non-confrontational nature and is a ladies' man. Peck knows how to handle firearms perfectly and is also an adventurer whose skills have more than once rescued the team. The character was played by Dirk Benedict. Dirk is blessed with a classically handsome profile and a knack for playing charming rogues. His film debut was in the 1972 film Georgia. Benedict's career break came in 1978 when he appeared as Lieutenant Starbuck in the movie and television series Battlestar Galactica. That same year, Benedict starred in the TV film Cruise into Terror and appeared in the ensemble movie Scavenger Hunt the following year. Today, he is 77 years old. Lance Legault as Colonel Decker. Colonel Decker works for the U.S. Army in troubleshooting. He can be a little crazy about keeping his post, and at the same time, he can be very tenacious in trying to get the A-Team. The character was played by Lance Legault. Legault's first 3 feature films were Elvis Presley movies, Girls, Girls, Girls in 1962, in which he was a stunt double for Elvis Presley, Kissin' Cousins in 1964, and Viva Las Vegas also in the same year. Lance did voice work for cartoons and video games, as well as serving as the narrator of the tour audio tape for Elvis Presley's Graceland Mansion and Museum in Memphis, Tennessee. Lance Legault died of heart failure at age 77 on September 10, 2012, at his home in Los Angeles, California. Eddie Velez as Frankie Santana. Frankie Santana, played by Eddie Velez, was one of the members of the A-Team who was somewhat pressured into joining its ranks. He is quite good at using firearms and is a pro at using special effects. Walks with his hair styled back and is often seen wearing a leather vest. Eddie started his entertainment career at the age of 7. In the beginning of his acting career, Velez starred in comedies like the Jeff Altman film Doin' Time in 1984 and The Women's Club in 1987. Velez has starred and co-starred in television programs including Bay City Blues, playing Pepe Garcia, Beringers, playing Julio Morales, Charlie and Company, playing Miguel Santana, Trial and Error, playing John Hernandez, and True Blue, playing Officer Frankie Avila. Today, he is 64 years old. Maria Heasley as Tanya Baker. Tanya Baker, played by Maria Heasley, is one of the LA Courier Express employees who knows Amy. She has a somewhat envious nature, and career plays a special role in her life. Tanya is quite an adventurous and assertive girl who can be quite demanding at times. Introduced in Season 2, Episode 15, The Battle of Bel Air, the character was brought in as a replacement for Melinda Kulea, Amy Allen, who was abruptly dropped from the series after insisting on being given more to do. Her character from the A-Team, Tanya Baker, was named after Tanya Cannell, the daughter of the creator of the series, Stephen J. Cannell. Today, she is 63 years old. Jack Ging as General Harlan Bull Fulbright. General Harlan Bull Fulbright led the A-Team, although he initially didn't believe that they were not involved in a war crime. Harlan is deeply attached to his daughter and is willing to do anything to save her. Wears a beret. The character was played by Jack Ging. From 1984 to 1985, Ging played the arrogant Lieutenant Ted Quinlan on the adventure detective series Riptide. His character was killed off, and he went on to appear on the A-Team, on which he made 2 guest appearances as villains. Ging died of natural causes at his home in La Quinta, California on September 9, 2022, at the age of 90. Thomas Rosales Jr. as Ramon de Haro Guard. Ramon de Haro Guard is the major of the Argentinian gang, under the influence of which many people fell, including the sheriff. He is a rather cruel person who uses no less cruel methods. Knows how to shoot a gun. The role was played by Thomas Rosales Jr. Rosales worked on a variety of projects during his entertainment career, including Boulevard Nights with Richard Inyegne in 1979, FM in 1978, and The Concorde Airport 79 with Alan Dillon in 1979. He is a stuntman who has appeared in more than 100 films. Today, he is 74 years old. Hulk Hogan as Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is a professional wrestler and also served in Vietnam with Baracus in the past. He is assertive and tries to solve his problems on his own, but if necessary, he can ask for help. Wears a chain with a cross on his neck. The role was played by Hulk Hogan. Terry Eugene Bollea, better known by his ring name Hulk Hogan, is an American retired professional wrestler and television personality. He is widely regarded as the most recognized wrestling star worldwide and the most popular wrestler of the 1980s. He was the frontman for the Wrestling Boot Band, whose sole record, Hulk Rules, reached number 12 on the Billboard Top Kid audio chart in 1995. Today, he is 69 years old. Anthony James as Flag. Flag seems to be a rather calm person, but sometimes he has a hard time with self-control, and he can lose his temper a bit. He has a lean build, is rather tall, and has a dimple in his chin. The role was played by Anthony James, who passed away in 2020 from cancer. He was 77. James made several guest appearances on the Western series Gunsmoke during the series run, appearing in different roles, most often playing the character of Elbert Moses. Other shows he has guest starred on include Hawaii Five-0, The High Chaparral, Bonanza, The Rookies, Charlie's Angels, Star Trek The Next Generation, and Beauty and the Beast. Ismael East Carlo as Alvarez. Alvarez is in charge of one of Chicago's tenements, but he mostly deals in crime with his gang. He is not compassionate and often doesn't give a damn about other people. Wears a mustache, and it can often be seen in the singlet. The role was played by Ishmael East Carlo. Carlo served in the U.S. Army after enlisting at age 17. He was stationed in Panama. From New York, he moved to Florida, where he took a job as a janitor at a local theater, and it was at that juncture his acting career started. He started appearing in TV shows back in the 1970s, like his role in Caribe in 1975, in the Ladykiller episode. He played the role of Don Diego in the comedy movie Banditas in 2006. He also appeared briefly in the series Prison Break on episode 15 of the second season. Today, he is 80 years old. Red West as Sheriff Brooks. Sheriff Brooks worked at the police station and was the one who ordered officers to open fire on the house of the A-Team. He wears a brown and green police uniform and sunglasses. Uses a loudspeaker at work. Played by Red West, who died of an aortic aneurysm in 2017. He was 81. He was known for being a close confidant and bodyguard for rock and roll singer Elvis Presley. Upon his firing, West wrote the controversial biography Elvis, What Happened?, in which he exposed the singer's dangerous drug dependence in an attempt to save him. Melinda Kalea as Amy Amanda Allen. Amy Amanda Allen, played by Melinda Kalea, originally filmed reports for the LA Courier, but after searching for her colleague, she became part of the A-Team. She has a strong and resolute character and is also able to win the trust of people. She knows how to ride a horse well. Kulea has acted in a number of other TV roles, mainly during the 1980s and 1990s. Shortly after leaving the A-Team, Kulea gained a leading role as Terry Randolph in the short-lived series Glitter. Another substantial role was playing the recurring character Paula Verdosick on Knots Landing for 2 seasons from 1988 to 1990. She also made appearances on many other notable television series, including Fantasy Island, Family Ties, Saint Elsewhere, The X-Files, Star Trek The Next Generation, Brotherly Love, Beverly Hills 90210, and Murder, She Wrote. Today, she is 67 years old. Rod Stryker as Sergeant Case. Sergeant Case serves in the U.S. Army and was assigned to Colonel Decker as his assistant interim. Case is well Army posture and usually wears a simple green uniform on duty, but may wear a helmet if necessary. Has slightly curly hair. The role was played by Rod Stryker. Rod Stryker was born on October 19, 1957 in the U.S. He is an actor and writer known for New Yoga in 1996, Riptide in 1984, and Capital in 1982. He has been married to Gina D'Orazio since May 25, 2006. He was previously married to Cheryl Tiegs. Today, he is 65 years old. Morgan Woodward as Bus Carter. Bus Carter is a rather influential and wealthy person. His main business is running ranches in the Midwest. Carter doesn't always act honestly and was engaged in the theft of Mustang horses while carefully hiding the traces. He was played by Morgan Woodward. He was best known for his recurring role as Marvin "Punk" Anderson on the television soap opera Dallas, and for his portrayal of Boss Godfrey, the sunglasses-wearing man with no eyes in the 1967 film Cool Hand Luke. Woodward died on February 22, 2019, at his Hollywood Hills house in California. He was 93. Charles Napier as Bert Cross. Bert Cross is on good terms with the rich man Jarrett, with whom he belittles immigrants, making them almost slaves. Can easily throw explosives at a local store. Bert is often seen wearing a light-colored cowboy hat. The role was played by Charles Napier. Charles is known for playing supporting and occasionally leading roles in television and films. He was frequently cast as police officers, soldiers, or authority figures, many of them villainous or corrupt. He also played the role of Agent Zed in Men in Black, the series. He died in 2011 at 75 years old. William Lucking as Colonel Lynch. Colonel Lynch was under the command of the U.S. government and was assigned to run Fort Bragg until the A-Team escaped from his custody. He is not particularly smart, but Lynch never departs from his goal and always tries to go to the end. The role was played by William Lucking. Aside from his role on the A-Team, he was best known for his role as Piney Winston in Sons of Anarchy, and for his movie roles in The Magnificent Seven Ride and The Rundown. He died in 2021 at 80 years old. Sergio Calderon as El Cajon. El Cajon lives in the Amazon jungle and, together with his crew, trades in piracy, thereby intimidating many people. He looks untidy and his clothes are in the same condition. El Cajon is overweight, especially in the abdomen. He was played by Sergio Calderon. Sergio Calderon has worked as a professional actor since 1970. He is perhaps most well known for his role as the first alien, Head on a Stick, in the original blockbuster Men in Black, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. Today, he is 77 years old. Richard Iniguez as Daniel Running. Daniel Running Bear, played by Richard Iniguez, lives in Arizona with the Chicaya tribe. He is a conscientious person who cares about the environment and animals. It was he who hired the A-Team to stop Bus Carter from illegally catching horses. He likes to wear plaid shirts. Richard Iniguez was born on December 8, 1946, in Firebaugh, California, USA. He is an actor and director, known for Man on Fire in 2004, Babylon 5 in 1993, and Boulevard Nights in 1979. A little trivia: he auditioned for the role of Cruz Castillo on Santa Barbara in 1984. Today, he is 76 years old. John Saxon as Callum. Callum is a rebel ringleader who is negatively opposed to Zelina's father. He knows how to skillfully manipulate, is able to convince and pretend. He has a blade hidden in his sleeve with which he can attack. The role was played by John Saxon, who died in 2020 from pneumonia. He was 83. He worked on more than 200 film and television projects during a span of 60 years. He was known for his work in westerns and horror films, often playing police officers and detectives. Brian James as David Plout. David Plout is at the head of Harrington Management. He is a rather unpleasant and corrupt person who can go to blackmail and intimidate people. He can easily set a fire or explosion in a building. The role was played by Brian James, who died of a heart attack in 1999. James was frequently cast as an antagonist, appearing more frequently in lower-budget horror and action films and TV shows through the 1980s and 1990s. John Dennis Johnston as Archer. Archer, played by John Dennis Johnston, along with his friends, often attacks people while unceremoniously beating them. He has a rather evil nature, has a somewhat creepy appearance, dresses inconspicuously, and also wears a lush mustache. He also rides a motorcycle. John appeared in a number of feature films, including Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Streets of Fire, and Flesh and Blood, as well as various TV movies such as In Plain Sight and The Golden Girls. He also appeared in both Twilight Zone the movie in 1983 and in one episode of the Twilight Zone TV series in 1987. Today, he is 72 years old. Mr. T as B.A. Baracus. B.A. Baracus is part of the A-Team. He has a technical mindset, is quick-witted, and is able to drive different types of cars quite well. He has a rather formidable appearance and well-developed muscles. Wears a small Iroquois. The role was played by Mr. T. Aside from his role on the A-Team, Mr. T was best known for his role as boxer Clubber Lang in the 1982 film Rocky III. He is also known for his distinctive hairstyle inspired by Mandinka warriors in West Africa. Today, he is 70 years old. Do you remember these cast members from the A-Team 1983? It's so hard to believe that it's been over 39 years since the show first aired. The cast has changed a lot, and some have even already left this world. But they surely left us with an amazing series. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.